Hey there, welcome to today's class on Chapter 1 of Civics named the Indian Constitution. In this chapter, we are going to begin with football. Yes, you heard it right. A game many of you have probably heard of or even played. As the name suggests, this is a game that involves the player's feet. According to the rules of football, if the ball touches the arm of any player except the goalkeeper, then this is considered as a foul. So if players start holding the football in their hands and passing it around, then they are not playing football anymore. Similarly, other games such as hockey or cricket also have rules according to which they are played. Each of these rules helps define the game and helps us distinguish one game from the other. As these are fundamental to the game, we can also call them the constitutive rules of the game. Like these games, a society also has a constitutive rule that make it what it is and differentiate it from other kinds of societies. In large societies, in which different communities of people live together, these rules are formulated through consensus, and in modern countries, this consensus is usually available in written form. A written document in which we find such rules is called a constitution. In this chapter, we will try to find out the answers of the following questions. What is constitution? Why does a country needs a constitution? We will also talk about the key features of Indian constitution, which are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Let us first try to understand what is constitution. Today, most countries in the world have a constitution. While all democratic countries are likely to have constitution, it is not necessary that all countries that have a constitution are democratic. Simply put, constitution is primarily a set of rules and principles specifying how a country should be governed, how power is distributed and controlled, and what rights citizens possess. It is usually written down and contained within a single document. 2, 3, start. In 1934, the Indian National Congress made the demand for a constituent assembly. During the Second World War, this assertion for an independent constituent assembly formed only of Indians gained momentum, and this was convened in December 1946. The photo on the right hand side shows some members of the Constituent Assembly between December 1946 and 1949 November. The Constituent Assembly drafted a constitution for independent India. Free to shape their destiny at last. After 150 years of British rule, the members of the Constituent Assembly approached this task with the great idealism that the freedom struggle had helped produce. You will read more about the work of the Constituent Assembly later in the chapter. The photo alongside shows Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru addressing the Constituent Assembly. But why does a country needs the constitution? A democratic country like India needs a constitution because a constitution puts down certain principles that form the basis of the kind of country that we as citizens desires to live. A constitution tells us about the fundamental nature of the society. A constitution helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all the persons in the country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want to be governed. Constitution also spells out the ideals the citizens believe that their country should uphold. Let us now talk about the features of Indian Constitution, which are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Let us now talk about what federalism is. Simply put, Federalism is a system of government in which entities such as states or provinces share power with a national government. Parliamentary form of government, on the other hand, means that the executive branch of government has the direct or indirect support of the parliament. The head of the government is the prime minister, who has the real power. The head of the state may be an elected president, or in case of a constitutional monarchy, it can be hereditary. The powers are separated among three branches of government, which is legislative, executive, and judiciary. Let us now try to understand what separation of power means. It means the system of separation of powers divides the tasks of the state into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. These tasks are assigned to different institutions in such a way that each of them can check the others. As a result, no one institution can become so powerful in a democracy as to destroy the system. Legislative, executive, and judiciary have separate parts. President heads the legislative branch, Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers head executive branch, judiciary is headed by Supreme Court. Parliament, which is constituted under the President, has two layers, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, whereas under Supreme Court we have high courts in the state and the district courts. Let us now talk about the most important topic, fundamental rights. The section on fundamental rights has often been referred to as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights, therefore, protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. The Constitution thus guarantees the rights of individuals against the state as well as against other individuals. Let us now talk about the secular nature of Indian Constitution. Secularism. A secular state is the one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as a state religion. Simply put, secularism is a belief system that rejects religion or the belief that religion should not be part of the affairs of the state or part of public relation. The principle of separation of church and the state and of keeping religion out of the public school system are an example of secularism. You now understand the ways in which a country's history often determines the kind of constitution that a country adopts for itself. The constitution plays a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representatives that we elect to rule us. Just like in the game of football, a change of constitutive rules will affect the game. Indian constitution has been amended over the years to reflect new concerns of the polity. Often a major change in the constitution means a change in the fundamental nature of the country. Let us now read about some of the interesting facts about Indian constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is called the father of Indian constitution. On 9th December 1946, the Constituent Assembly met for the first time. On 26 November 1949, the final draft was ready. 26 January 1950, this was the date on which the Constitution was legally enforced. The Constitution was originally written in Hindi and English. It took nearly 3 years to write it down. It is the longest constitution in the world. The constitution wasn't typed or printed. It was handwritten by Prem Behari Narendraizada. Each page was decorated by artists from Shantiniketan. The Constitution declares India a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, assures its citizens justice, equality, and liberty, and also endeavors to promote fraternity. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification to get the latest updates about the upcoming videos. Thank you.